Hello and welcome to my usual vlog at the end of our board meeting in public. My name is Catherine Lavery and I chair our trust board. We are at the Scunthorpe United ground in Scunthorpe today on the 25th of July, and we're about 3 o'clock, and we've been in board meeting since 9:30, 10 o'clock this morning. So it's been a long day, but we've had an excellent board meeting. We've had a board that has done a lot of work around our education and learning offer. It's been a bit of a specialist board meeting today, but just to take you through the highlights from my point of view, we started off with a very important staff story around a young man who is working on Magnolia Ward in Doncaster as a nurse, and a very senior nurse now, who came to us after being a chef and has come through the apprenticeship route. And of course, in a board meeting looking at education, that is really, really important. And his story was very inspirational around how that route, how us offering apprenticeships into the community can really not only change somebody's life, but bring us in some excellent staff. And my thanks to Phil for being the staff story this morning. The other report, before I get on to the learning, that I really want to talk about is we had a report from our chief nurse, from Steve Forsyth, around the problems that you'll have read about in the press at the Nursing and Midwifery Council, the NMC, which has been around the culture and problems of that organisation, particularly around race and around making sure that if people are in fitness to practice procedures, that those are handled properly and with some speed. We've got people who have been in those procedures for far too long, and indeed the real distressing fact that people have died by suicide because of the time that those have taken. So we took an important report from Steve, not only around assuring our nursing staff that the distress that they've felt around their regulatory body, we have that sympathy with them, that we are supporting them. It's very difficult for them. I don't know if people really realise how much that affected nurses to find that the NMC were in that position. And it's not something that's happened in the past couple of weeks. This has been going on for a long time. And we are a trust that has, in Promise 26, commitment to be an anti-racist organisation by April next year. So there is learning for ourselves in that report to make sure that what has happened at the NMC we look at and think and reflect. Are we absolutely sure that couldn't happen here? We're working on that. We've learnt a lot. We have much work to do. But this was an important report for us this morning, and it culminated with a decision that Toby and I, as the chair and chief of the organisation, should write on the trust's behalf to express our disquiet at what's happened at the NMC. So that was a big report this morning, and I trust you believe that the board spent time well in debating that issue. But to look into our reports on being a learning trust, we looked at our learning half days, which we've had a 3-month pilot in North Lincolnshire, which is where we are right now, and about to go into a trust-wide rollout. This is protected time for learning. These are designated half days in the calendar where we will let everybody, not only our clinical staff, not only nurses and doctors and therapists, and to take time out to learn, but everybody, because we believe that it's everybody's right to have that time. We've had some real successes with it in North Links. There have certainly been some challenges. And this is about time that our staff decide what they want to learn. This is not some time where we as a board go, oh, we need to tell the staff that, so we'll use one of the half-day learning periods to do that. That is not what this is about. This is about them taking the learning that they feel is right for them, and indeed suggesting learning that they wish to do. I'm really pleased to see the outcomes of the North Lincolnshire pilot, and really proud to be seeing it rolled out across the trust. It's very exciting times. We took a report on placements, on our student placements from Steve Forsyth, And my thanks to Dr. Graham, to Jude Graham, for the work she's been that she presented this morning, or possibly this afternoon, on our learning half days. From Steve on placements and how we make the maximum use of placements, not only for ourselves. These are the next generation of people working for us, aren't they? The student placements, but to make sure that those placements are a really good experience for the students that are living with them, living through them, because there's nothing worse than a bad placement. It can put you off your career for life. And really good report from Steve around how we increase the numbers and increase the efficacy of the placements that we're offering. We took another report from Jude on our learning and education plan. It's really important to us. It's one of the supporting plans for our strategy, and we're seeing it really coming together now about being a learning organisation. The NHS is a moving feast, isn't it? Medicine is a moving feast. The huge expansions in knowledge, and in the right way to make sure that patients get the very best services that they can. We are constantly learning, constantly improving. So that education and learning plan, which makes us a great place to work, which means we attract the right workforce, is crucial. And finally, from Dr. Tosh, as a paper on learning from deaths. It's Graham's last board meeting with us before he leaves us for pastures new, and a seriously important report on how we handle the inquiries into every death that happens within the organisation, and what we learn and how the governance that sits behind that learning. So you can see we've had a somewhat specialist board meeting, but a very, very good one. And perhaps just to finish off with a report from our Chief Operating Officer, from Richard, on our emergency preparedness, which the world is a little bit unstable right now, and that affects us as much as anybody else. Not to mention the fact that we sit in one of Yorkshire's real floodplains in South Yorkshire, and particularly in Doncaster. So our preparedness about that, the training, and the for Gold and Silver Command, the evacuation procedures, we've got a lot of work to do, but we're on it, and it is a serious piece of work. So my thanks to Richard for bringing that. That is seriously just a few highlights, really, of what's gone on today. So if you want to see more or hear more, as usual, our full board meeting will be on the website, so you can listen to the whole lot if you like. Thank you for listening to this, and we'll see you again very soon.